Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Habib Ali and I am an ICT tutor by profession. In today's tutorial we are going to be learning about how to host a Zoom meeting, join and download the Zoom application, invite participants, mute and unmute the mic, start the video, share screens and use the whiteboard, use a chart in a text form as well as the video, share files, record the Zoom session, and settings to manage all the participants. So when you're ready, let's go and make a start. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is head over to the Zoom website. The address is zoom.us. I will leave a direct link for you in the description box. However, when you are on the website, you have to go over and sign up with the Zoom, and then you will be able to download the Zoom application on your computer, or you can even download the Zoom app on your tablets or your mobile phones, and you should be able to host a meeting through the phone or the tablets application. However, in today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating to you how to host a meeting through a laptop or a PC or even an Apple Mac. So once you've signed up by clicking on this link, which I'll show you what you will expect, you need to fill in your date of birth for verification purposes, and then click continue, and then you will be asked to fill in your other personal details. Once you have done that and you have signed up, then you will be able to download the software on your PC. I'm going to sign in and just quickly show you what the account will look like. Okay, so once you put in your email address and your password, you simply click on sign in, and this will allow you access to your account of Zoom, and from here you can change all kind of settings. You can change your profile, you can change the picture, and other settings. I'll let you have a look at this, but there are various settings on there. You can access your recordings, you can set up meetings. From here you can look at your upcoming meetings, your previous meetings, and so on. So there are various settings here which you have to access this through the website if you wanted to change a lot of these settings in your Zoom account. However, for you to start hosting a meeting, you do not need to be logged in to the website. You can simply start hosting the meeting directly from the software that you have already downloaded on your PC. This is what I tend to do. However, you can also schedule a meeting for a future date. You can also join a meeting as well from here, and like I said, you can host a meeting. But for today's video, I'm going to assume that you have already got the Zoom application downloaded and installed on your computer. So therefore, I'm going to take you directly there. So on the desktop, you can see that I have got a link for the Zoom software that I've got installed on my computer. So to start hosting the meeting, I need to open this application, and then I am given this page. Now, if I want to start a meeting straight away, all I have to do is click on this new meeting section. Now, there is an arrow next to it, which means you can choose whether to start the new meeting showing your video, or you can even hide your video. I have hidden the video for this tutorial. This is just my personal choice, but in a real meeting, I do recommend you always showing your video. So to start the meeting, all I need to do is click on there, and a new meeting will open up straight away, and you can see the timer is there. Please do make a note that on the free version of Zoom, you only get 40 minutes for a total length of the meeting if it was with more than one person. If it was with just one person, you can have the meeting for a long time. However, if it is more than two people in the free version, they do allow a maximum of 40 minutes. However, once the meeting has ended and you do not want to join any of the paid version of Zoom, you can simply send a new link to all the participants and start another meeting. Okay, so let's make a start on all the amazing features that Zoom has to offer and how to use them to host a meeting. Let's start from here on the left hand side. So this is the mic which you can mute yourself or unmute yourself. So you can unmute yourself, you can see a line going over the mic, just a standard icon really, or you can unmute yourself. So if you do have background in the if you have background noise or you want to talk to somebody privately, you can always mute yourself. You can also choose a different mic. So if you do have more than one mic selected, you can also choose it from this list here. I just tend to use the mic either on my headphones or the ones that's built into the webcam that I tend to use. The next one is the video. So this is where you can show your video, you can hide your video showing yourself. This is entirely up to you, but as a host, I do recommend you always showing your video. Now again, you can also choose which video camera to use. So you can use the webcam or any other external video camera you have got connected to your computer. I always tend to use the webcam that I have on my laptop. Okay, the next part is the security section here. Now in here there is a few amazing features that you can control, in particular allowing the participants to do certain activities. So for example, you can see by default these are all switched on, so the participants in your meeting, they can chat with you, they can rename themselves, they can unmute themselves and start the video. However, this is another important one which I tend to use. So if you are a teacher like myself and you want some of your students to share their screen with you so you can discuss some of their work, you have to allow this option here before the participants can share their screen. So please do make a note of this one, because otherwise the participants will not be able to share the screen. The next one is one of the most important parts, because this is where you can see all your participants. So if I click on here, this is the list of all the participants. This is where everybody's names will appear, every single individual that has entered the meeting. However, before you can see them, this is where the invitation link is. So you have to invite everybody by clicking on this invite link. So I'm going to click on there. Now to invite the individuals, there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can either copy the invitation link or copy the full invitation. So this one will simply copy the link, and this will copy the full invitation, which has the invitation, the meeting ID and the passcode as well. So depending on what you want, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a quick I'll just show you what each one will look like. So I'm going to copy the invite link here. You can copy it to my clipboard, and I'll paste it into a Word document just to show you what it will look like. So you can see the invitation link will simply give you the full link. Now if I copy the full invitation and paste it here for you to have a look at, let's see what this one looks like. So you can see this one has a little title, the full Zoom meeting link, and then the meeting ID and the passcode. So it's got a lot more information. Now remember, a participant can either use the full link and they can join the meeting, or they can use the meeting ID and the passcode. They do not really need both of them. The next one, the next form of invitation you can use, which I tend to use because it is a lot easier, is using the email facility. You've got the default email, or you can use Gmail or the Yahoo email. I tend to use the Yahoo email, which I am already signed in on my PC, so it takes me directly there. So depending on which email provider you use, you can choose the one that you need. So I'm going to click on Yahoo email and show you what this does. So when I click on that, it takes me directly to the Yahoo email, and because I am already signed in and I've already got my login details saved, it logs me in straight away and composes a new message. If you are not signed in, then it will ask you to initially sign into your email account, and then it will bring you here. So in this, what I tend to do is separate the message a little bit, just to separate the email, the Zoom link, and then the meeting ID and passcode. I tend to put it on a separate line. It's just to make it a little bit easier for the participants to identify the link and the meeting ID and passcode. And then after that, if I was inviting a lot of people, i.e. all my students, I tend to put their email addresses in the BCC field, which is the blind carbon copy, just for privacy, so they don't get to see each other's email addresses. However, for today's video, I'm going to just put one of my email addresses in this toolbox just to show you as a quick demo. Okay, so you type in the person's or all the individuals' email addresses. Like I said, I recommend, if it's more than one, to put it in the BCC field. For today's video, like I said, just one person, so I'm just going to put it in there. Once you have done that, you simply click on send, and the person will get this invitation email message, and they can join your meeting either using the link or the meeting ID and the passcode. Okay, so let's move on. Within the participants section, when you get this, like I said, you can invite them here, which is one of the most important things to do, because if you don't have anybody in the meeting, then what's the point? Once everybody is in the meeting, let's see what else you can do using this pane here. You can mute everybody. So if there was a lot of noise and you wanted to mute everybody in one go, you can simply click here and it will mute everybody. If you wanted to mute individual participants, then you will have options here next to each person's name. You can simply click on mute and that person will be muted. We also have other options here where you can simply play a sound when someone joins or leaves. So these are some of the options that is not set as a default setting, so you can choose to do that. You can even lock the meeting. So if you lock the meeting, that means nobody else will be able to enter the meeting. So there are some other extra options here for you to explore. Okay, the next part is this section here, which is the sharing of the screen. Now, I tend to share my screen all the time when I'm doing Zoom sessions with my own students, because I'm always doing a lot of demonstrations, so they get to watch my screen and learn from my demonstrations. However, there are various ways of you being able to share your screen, so let's have a look at them. When you click on share screen, you get all these lovely options here. So you can either choose this option here, which is sharing the general screen, but please be careful. If you're going to select this option, it means you will share every single screen, i.e. whatever is on the screen, you will share the entire thing. So if there is something that you do not want to share, then I do not recommend you choosing this option. Rather, maybe one of these individual screens. So if it was a PowerPoint presentation that you wanted to share, and that presentation was open using Microsoft PowerPoint, for example, this window will be available here. So you can select just that window, and that window will only be visible with your participants. So please choose wisely which screen you want to share. Now, the other option as a teacher, I tend to use this quite a lot, which is the whiteboard. Now, it's very similar to having a whiteboard in your classroom. So when you select this option and click on share, you will get this whiteboard. Now on here, just like you would do on any other whiteboard, you can draw freehand any information you wanted to. So this will, illustrate a little bit better, maybe to further explain what you are trying to explain to your participants. In my case, when I'm talking to my students, I tend to use this and it helps me explain my points a little bit more effectively. There are different things you can choose here. You've got different drawing elements here. You can even use text. You've got different stamps. You can use a spotlight. You can erase everything, and you've got different formatting as well. So there are various things you can experiment with here and see how this works out for you. You can even share whatever you have drawn here. You can also save a copy of it as well. So this is pretty interesting to use. Okay, the next one I want to look at is sharing. You can also share, or you can connect your iPhone or your iPad and share the screen from your iPhone or your iPad. Now, sometimes you may want to demonstrate something on your phone and you can connect it to your Zoom session as well, which I think is a very cool feature they have got here. Now, under the advanced tab, just moving you down here, this is a lovely option I tend to use, which is sharing a portion of the screen only, because sometimes maybe you don't want to share the entire screen, you just want to share a part of it. So this lovely option is pretty cool. So all you have to do is select it, click on share. You can see that you get this lovely frame or a window, and then you can make this frame as big as you want or as small as you want, depending on which portion of the screen you want to share. So let's say I just wanted to share this message here and I didn't want my participants to see any of that. I can just simply make this window just to cover the part that I want to share. So this portion of sharing the screen, I think, is very, very interesting. You can also share your files as well using the different cloud storage that is available. So if you want to share a file from any of those platforms, you can also do that. And also, please remember, when you are sharing your screen, so let's say I'm sharing my entire screen here. If I click on share, so at the moment I'm sharing, can you see here, I've got an entire frame going all the way around. So this is telling me that I am sharing my entire screen. So if I go on my desktop right now, I am sharing my desktop. So whatever screen is being displayed on my monitor, this is what I will be sharing with all my participants. So once you have shared your screen and you want to stop sharing, you simply just click on here. But before I do that, there's a few more things I want to show you. When you just hover your mouse over this sharing link, you get a few options here. Now, one of them is this lovely annotate, which I tend to use. So let's say something on the screen, you want to annotate further. You can click on annotate here and you get a pen and all these lovely options again. And now you could literally draw and highlight sections here just manually. So let's say I wanted to share a couple of things, or maybe highlight or draw something around here, just like that. You can use this feature as well. It's pretty cool. I tend to use this quite a lot as well. And once you have finished sharing your screen, please make sure to click on stop share, and by doing so it will take you back to your video where you are seeing each other. Okay, the next part I want to introduce is this feature here where you can record your entire Zoom session. So let's say somebody didn't participate in the meeting and they wanted a copy of your entire Zoom session. You can record it all and then send a copy of the video to them. All you have to do is click on record, and straight away the recording is here, is being indicated. You can see, or if you can pause the recording at any point, or if you have finished the recording, you can simply click on stop recording, and a copy of it will be saved and converted to an MP4 file at the end of the meeting. So when you end the meeting, this file will be produced. Okay, and then you've got this section here as well where you can do a certain reactions, which is nice to have really. So you can give somebody a clap, a little pat on the back, or a little appraisal for doing something good, which I tend to use being a teacher. I tend to praise my students when they have done something good by giving them some of these lovely reactions. And one more thing I want to show you. I want to show you this chat one, which I left till the end, because let's say somebody joins your meeting and they don't have a mic. They could have an old computer or something like that, and the mic isn't working. So they can chat to you instead. So if the chat option is available, you can see here, you can even chat to everybody, or you can set the chat. So for example, if I click on them 3 lines, you can select the participants either to chat to everybody or only chat to yourself. I tend to, in my Zoom sessions, have this selected so that all the chat, all the communication is directed to myself. So if one of my students had a question, they will be able to send me a message via a chat, and then I can also reply to them. So I can either reply to everybody or I can reply to an individual. So at the moment I've got nobody in the meeting, but if I did, I will have a list of all the individuals' name, and I can select that particular person to direct the message to. Also in this section, I wanted to bring your attention to this particular area where you can share files, like I said earlier, but through here you can share files directly from your computer. So if there was a file that you wanted all the participants to have, you can select your computer and then browse for the relevant file and attach it, and all the participants will be able to download that file directly from this Zoom meeting session. And then finally, once your meeting is completed and you want to wrap it up, then you can end the meeting by clicking on end here. Now you get 2 options. The first option is to end a meeting for everybody. So this will allow everyone to leave automatically. The meeting will be ended. Or you can leave yourself. So you can leave the meeting, but by you leaving the meeting, you will get the option to make somebody else in the meeting the host, so they can lead the meeting. So this is how you host a meeting. If you do have any further questions, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. If you have enjoyed this tutorial and it has helped you out, please do give it a like and share with all your loved ones, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already, and I shall see you over in my next tutorial. So until then, please do look after yourself, and goodbye for now.